South Carolina kid, how did you know South Carolina State was the place for you?
Well, it came out of nowhere, honestly. I grew up a big Clemson fan. Brother played there, so that was the only school I ever visited. Got recruited by them. Then it came back for my offer. They came back 2 weeks after signing day when my scores did, and then they came back and said, okay, you got the score, but we don't got any more scholarships. So South Carolina State was the only other team that offered me. So without even going on a visit, going to South Carolina State, walked in blind, said, hey, let's make a run.
Now, although you're close to home, that blind decision is huge. So you make the decision, you show up on campus. What's the moment you know, okay, I did make the right choice, I am comfortable here now?
My first year, just seeing Joe Thomas and Javon Hargrave there, seeing how they work, and then seeing them both of them get drafted. So it was like, okay, I can go to the NFL through here. Then the whole atmosphere there, it was a great atmosphere. The coaches was smooth. Met a lot of good friends there. Joined the only frat, so yeah, had a great time.
Come from a small town, small school, and now you're on the biggest stage that football can ever give you. Have you really had a moment to really sit back and realize where you came from to where you are?
Every chance I get, I sit back and think of all the things that I've been through in life, and just seeing what I've been through to get me to this position where I'm at now. So I don't take anything for granted. I'm very thankful, very honored, and I just try to show that kids that's down there now that they can be whatever they want to be if they put their minds to it.
And what would you tell to a freshman at South Carolina State right now, about to go into his first college summer? What advice would you give him that it is possible to make it to the NFL?
When he wake up in the morning, there's only one person that's looking in that mirror besides him, and that's him. And you can't be great when everybody's watching. That's not where all the great players are made at. You got to be great when there's no one's watching, all the lights off, when no coach is there. That's when the great players are being made.
And when you think back to South Carolina State, what's the first memory that comes to your mind?
My first pick six, homecoming, my
homecoming
junior year.
Too?
Yeah, homecoming. My junior year against Howard, first pick six. So that's definitely my number one memory.
And was that your I have arrived in college moment?
No. I would say my junior year Clemson game. I had 19 tackles there, and that's when I said, okay, maybe I can play with these big boys.
And 19 tackles against what still is a top program in the country, a program that you grew up a fan of that overlooked you. What did that feel like?
It felt great. Just being back in Death Valley and, showing the coaches that, hey, they missed out on something great, and kind of, I'm always about proving everybody wrong. So I definitely wanted to show that, hey, no matter what competition I'm playing at, I can ball out.
And because of that chip on your shoulder, because your ability to ball out against the top competition despite coming from a small school, what was that first day of OTAs like?
It was crazy. I went in not 100%. I hurt my quad at the combine, so I came in probably 85, 90%, and then going in, I was like, okay, I can't go full speed because if I do, I'm gonna hurt it again. And then right in the punt, when I tried to run, popped it again. I tried to fight through it, went in individual, and then I felt like I let everybody down because I couldn't finish practice, and that was my last day of OTAs.
First day was the last day.
Yeah.
So over training camp, did you heal up? Were you good for training camp? Okay,
I did.
So what was that first training camp like?
It was, I was nervous. Like I said, first OTAs, I was sitting on the bench watching. I was a rookie. I was drafted high, so everybody was saying, okay, this guy coming in hurt. Is he any good? So, I wanted to prove that I could play. And then first series of team and training camp, I pick off Andrew Luck. So it was definitely a sigh of relief, just to say, okay, 90 guys shaking my hand, saying, okay, bro, great job, and it kind of felt good.
Going back to the NFL Combine, the NFL Combine by design is meant for you to fail. As much stress as possible, as much pressure as possible, as little sleep as possible. And again, this is the biggest stage that you had been on coming from such a small school. How did you handle that?
Mind over everything. You always face what other men have met. So if all the other men could do it, I can go out and do the same exact thing without making any excuses.
Now, if you were at the Combine as a GM or a head coach, what would you ask a South Carolina State player, an incoming rookie, to know if they were right for your program?
Just know their background, see what kind of person they are, because you can fake the funk, you can have all the accolades, you can have everything, but like my biggest thing is all about respect. How would you talk to me? That's my biggest thing. Like my first impression is when I walk in is, hey, how you doing? Yes sir, no sir, because I'm a big guy, I'm a very humble guy, and that's something you want in your locker room, because if you got someone who's very humble and who's willing to go out and put their body on the line, not just for themselves, but the other 10 guys that's out there on the field with them, that's going to help you win a championship.
What are you most proud of adding to your arsenal of tools to your game from college to now?
Only the ability to take the ball away. Coach Jonathan Sachs, he always telling me, hey, when you go in, you got long arms, instead of just wrapping them up, try to get a punch at the ball. And now you see almost every tackle that I do, I try to get a punch at the ball.
What's it like when you watch college ball now? South Carolina State, although they should be, are not on TV on the big stage as often as they should unless they're playing a bigger school.
Yeah.
Is it weird watching a Clemson, Florida State, or a Florida, Alabama game or anything like that?
Yeah, most definitely, because I mean, you just look at all the big time schools, you know, and you knowing that South Carolina State got great athletes and it's a great program as well, and they're not getting the same love as all the big time names. And then you come to the NFL and there's so many guys who undrafted from HBCUs, and they're taking guys' jobs who's been at Clemson, LSU, or any other time, the big time schools. So it definitely is weird not to see every single game on Saturday with them being on TV. So it sucks to kind of got to watch it play by play instead of just watching it from the TV.
Let's talk about the draft experience a little bit. How did you balance the excitement with, like you said earlier, with the gratitude of I'm actually here? Small South Carolina kid made it to the draft.
When I first got drafted that day, it was amazing. I mean, all emotions. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna have my fun today. Show everybody, okay, I made it. But the next day, it was like, okay, all right, I made it. What's next? I mean, I'm always looking at what's next. So I mean, it was already time for me to go back to start training. So I mean, my mind was already made up. It was once I got drafted, I didn't want to just be on a team. I wanted to go and help a team win. So that was just my whole mindset.
What from day one as a freshman in high school to day one as a freshman in college to day one as an NFL rookie, what would you go back and tell yourself to where you could get to now?
I wish I would have listened to all my coaches, growing up. In high school, I played maybe 8 positions. I was a very small guy. I played offense and defensive side of the ball. So I just wish I would have took it more serious earlier in my career, and then just keep everything all in one mindset. Earlier in my career, I was like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. And now it's just like I got to put all 100% in one thing.